Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is Aquascaping on the Fly, Living Art Creations, and I'm your host and content creator, Anthony. And we have some good news. Welcome 104 subscribers. I'm very thankful for that. And I put out a video. Today we're going to be talking about the Trinity series, and we're going to talk about the lighting concept that we're going to use for all three tanks. I'll put out a video, though, to give you guys a preview. I think I did a couple. I did a short one and then a longer version, and I asked for feedback. You did not disappoint. Apparently, everyone is loving what it looks like, so we're going to go with that. So thank you so much for your feedback, and also for continuing to support the channel through likes, subscribes, and your comments. Your comments really do mean the world to me. That being said, in today's video, it's all about lighting. So you remember, if you've watched any of the videos before about the Trinity series, I'm going to try and do an aquascape that is 3 tanks, one overall cohesive theme. And that's going to be through hardscape and also plant. And not just the hardscape, but also the topography of the hardscape when it goes from one tank to the next to the next. We will start with the middle tank, because whatever we do in the middle tank is going to branch off into the tanks on both sides. And so that's kind of the theme for the whole build. Now, originally, I had wanted to do, I'm doing what they call a bar strip light. It is a plant grow light. I have been using it in my studio area. This is the fourth order I've made of this one light. I'm going to show it to you in detail. I love it because it is full spectrum. You can choose which spectrum you want, and it's been working flawlessly in an aquarium that I turned into a terrarium. And then I'm also using it in the studio area for my terrariums, and then also by Desert Oasis under the fireplace mantle. I've got strips of it there. What I love about it is it has 4 light settings, 3 preset timers, and it's an inline. So you don't have to plug anything else in. You plug it in, the timer's in the line, and once you set it, it's done. You don't have to worry about it after that. And I love that aspect because being a flight attendant, I'm gone and I won't have to worry about, are my lights coming on? I mean, so this is a big stress reliever for me. But the bigger thing is also budget. I am trying to do these tanks at $100. So the set that we're going to talk about today cost me $45. I'm going to reorient the camera so you can see what's on the table in front of me, which is the entire set. And for our purposes today, the lighting is going to end up costing each tank $15, which is an incredibly low expense when we're talking about tank lighting. And we're not skimping on the fact that we're not going to get a beautiful look. It is going to be a beautiful look, and the plants will love it as well. Originally, though, I was going to go with 1 strip per tank. And I can't do that because of the middle tank being turtle in motion. Turtle in motion, the structure is so large that it will block the light because I'm hanging these strips, I'll show you, on the rim of the tank. Yes, my tanks have the rim on them, and I need that rim for a couple of purposes. One of them is the lighting. And when it's going to be shining down, turtle is going to block all the lighting that's going to basically be going forward. So I have chosen to go back to my original concept, which is to put 1 light strip on the back side and 1 light strip on the front side, and then they would shine down like this to each other. So you should not have any blind spot areas. Now, because our tanks are going to be new and we're not going to be able to have fish in them for a while, the 4 light settings is really going to save us, because if it's too bright for the plants, we can tone it down to where until they get acclimated and they get adjusted, and then you can also increase the volume of your lighting. That's one of the reasons why I really do love this product. So let me get the camera shined on the tabletop. I'll go over all the pieces and how I'm going to retrofit it for our aquariums. So hang on just a sec. Okay, so here is the entire set. Of course, here you start with your power pack, and you can see here is the connection on the side of this. Each one of these clips in just like this. They snap in together. This goes into this line. This line is connected to all the others. So you can undo and have as many as you want. on there. So it's fully adaptable. Then it comes with this extra cording, which you can put between each line if you need to spread your lighting out. Like let's say you were going to put lighting on plant shelves and your shelves were like, a distance apart from each other. That way you could line these up on shelves and you would have the space you need. Because I'm using it on tanks, what I'm going to do is it's going to be 2, 2, and 2. So one's going to be on one side, it's going to wrap around, it's going to go on the front side. It's going to be that on all 3 tanks. Now, excuse me, one thing that I love about this, I'll go ahead and show you, is the fact that the inline timer, which is this right here, that's amazing, but it also has feeds for 2 separate lines. So you could put 3 on one, 3 on another, or what I've done is I have one working right now that's got 6 on each one. That way it's one timer, but it's working with 6 different light strips on it. And I've had no problem with that. So that part I like. What is also great, the tanks I'm using are 20 inches long. They've got these nice little plastic edges on it. All I have to do is put some double stick tape, which, by the way, comes in your packet. Put it under the rim of the tank, and it just sets right there. And then I can angle it however I want to angle it. So if I want it to push more to the back or to the front, I can take care of that. It's super easy. So you're not having to figure around and make something complicated for this to fit on the tank itself. And I'll show you that in detail in just a minute, how we're going to get that done. But the nice thing is, this is going to sit right at the very top of the tank. Now, it may mean that I will not be able to have my water all the way up to the very top because I don't want it to touch the lighting itself. So that's probably one thing, but that's not going to bother me because I'm going to have plants growing out of my tanks as well. So it's going to hide some of that stuff. And the reason why I'm going with the same lighting that's already on my studio wall is because I'm going to have plants growing up above. So I have some of those that are shining up, and some that are going to be shining down towards the tanks, which will shine on the plants that are growing at the top of the tank. Then you'll have the same light in the tank, and then the shelf on the studio wall itself, underneath it, it has the same lighting. So for filming, it's going to be amazing because it's all one consistent color. And that's what I love about it. I had another set of lights that was under the shelf shining down on the main work spot, but it was more pink. And so when I would try to film it, it just looked horrible. But that's the components. And how we're getting this for, I'm just averaging the price out. It's $45 for 6. That is $15 for 2. That's how we can get away with 2 lights connected with the lines, going to one timer, and get it at a cost for $15 a tank. So right now, the tanks are at $30. Because I bought them at PetSmart when they were 50% off, so I paid $15 for the tank. So now we got 15 in the tank, 15 in the light. My hardscape and all that, the rocks, the wood, everything came from Mother Nature, so we're not out that. We're going to have our aqua soil that's going to be, I think it's $11 a bag. It will probably take 1 bag per tank. And then I did just order some clay pebbles because one of the builds, if you've seen the video, the one that's called Bird on a Wire, it has to be elevated. So for that one, I've got some media bags and the clay to build up the substrate to be able to make it a little bit more dramatic. But let me now reorient your camera so you can see where it is shining now on the tanks. And then I'll do a fast forward of how I'm actually going to do the wiring for the tanks. And we'll see how that goes. So I want you guys to get a good idea. Now you can see right now that each tank, and please disregard the blinding lights shining on the tanks. It's just too dark on this wall without the lights on. Sorry about that. But you can see the strip is already in there. And this is how that works. Okay, so here, see how I can rotate that? That's how they all are. It's just a little sticky. on there. Now this is the reason why this one, I mean, I might could get by with one light, but I'm scared to risk it because I do like how it shines the back out. And then I'm going to have dwarf hair grass in here, and I want it to get nice and thick. So I do want it lit up. Now, the nice thing is if it's too much lighting, I can tone it down. If it's still too much, I can always take the first strip off. What has happened now is there is a timer on that side, a line. Let's see if I can zoom in for you guys to see it. Yes, there it is. Okay, see my little magnifying glass there and the lighting that's in your way? Okay, this is one going up here to all of this. And I've got 6 on there, and some point up and some point down, just for the plant. There's going to be plants up there. And then there's another one that you don't see that goes to this shelf here and to this one as well. And it's this line right here that goes to that tank. I don't know, you didn't get to see it. Okay, hang on. So this one's for the plants, this one's for the tanks, and that's how I've got it set up so far. So what I have to do is disconnect. Let's get that out of the way. That'll be better. Disconnect this line because it goes from here, it plugs in here, comes over here, plug comes out. Here's the connector that you guys saw. It goes into this tank. So with them sitting this close to each other, I'm plugging them in right next to each other. That part is nice. Now I am going to put some white opaque backing on the back of the tanks because I don't want you to be able to see the cords behind it. So that way it won't disrupt your view. But right now, the only difference is this will be disconnected from this tank. It will come this way, and I'll have the second light right up here. So what I'm going to have to do is wire multiple accent points to go from this to connect to here, and to here. Fortunately, since I've bought 3 of these already, these kits already, I have plenty of cord to play with. So I'm just going to unwrap all my cords, put it out there, wrap everything back up, and then we'll test it. So I'll do a fast forward section on that for you. So give me a minute to set that up and we'll get going. Okay, I just did something that I didn't realize I should have done from the very beginning. I don't have to attach the lighting to the underside of the rim. I can attach it to the top side, which is what I've done right here. I just removed my tape off of there, put it on the top side. Now it's flush with the rim, so I can have my water level higher, and you can still tweak however you want it. I might have to put a different fresh stickies on this one, but it looks like it wants to just naturally, it's not level, it's angled. I need it angled a little bit. So what we're going to do is, like on this one, here's where the cord would attach to it. I'll need to swap this is an end light here, so it doesn't have a cord coming out. So you know where this needs to go? It needs to go on this front side, right here. So that this line will get swapped. It'll turn over here, just this simple. Oh my goodness, it is so easy to work with. Okay, now you can see right here, exactly. So it's going between the rim and the lip. Okay, no, it's not as pretty from the front side, but with them being elevated up on a shelf like that, that's what you'll see, well, when they don't fall. And electrocute all the fish in there, oh my God, just not thought of that. So we won't want that to happen. Okay, I was making that legit way harder. That took me like maybe 2 to 3 minutes to get that figured out. So let's start at the beginning. Here is the line that is coming in from the existing one, right there. There's the connection. So it gets plugged into this one, transitions to this one, This we can hide behind there. Here we go again. It's on this side. Another transition right here to this tank. Now here's where we will have to do some cord management. I can run the cord right here at the top and glue it down with some electrical tape. Then we'll have this light. We will have a cord showing right here, which means we're going to have to put plants at the two front corners, the two middle corners. We go to that light. Here's our second piece where we're going to have a cord showing between these two. And then here it ends and it's nice and clean. So, okay. So if we get one light here, and then one light, oh yeah, that really, even I can see how dramatic that is. You'll be able to really see inside there. And then if this is too bright, we've got 3 other levels we could try it out on. And then you can still play with it. You could have it going more to the extreme or more into the middle. So look, when you put it in the middle like that, then the hardscape really comes to life. So, okay, well that was really straightforward, way easier than I thought it was going to be. So what you did see me doing was I'm taking the double-sided tape, which is really sticky. And because there's a tab, a plastic tab at each end, I can just put a little bit of tape there. But in the middle, I need something to hold it just in the middle so that it doesn't bow out or become loose. Now, the issue is going to be how to either hide this, or I could take one of these connector cords and attach it, run it down, and come back up. That's something I'll just play around with, and it's just only the ones on the front because it's going to have a plants there. Or since we are going to put plants there, maybe it's just going to be simple. Do something like that. And just tie it and just double stick it there. So that's probably the worst part of it, is that you do have the cords that are right there, but it's way better than having multiple outlets up there, which I don't have on that shelf, and bulky lights sitting out there. This is nice and streamlined. So I'm going to take this apart, put some backing on it, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for hanging out with me.